Good afternoon, everybody. This is Albert, and I am the CEO of Punk Panda and the CEO of Quantum X3. As many of you know, last week we started sending out some emails and we sent out some WhatsApp messages to let people know that we finally have a pathway to open up the fabulous Punk Panda app. Very excited about this. First and foremost, I would really like to thank all the people that sent me the very kind messages, being very supportive, and sharing all of your excitement about the Punk Panda app coming back online. So during this process, though, there have been some questions that come up. So I'd like to take some time in this video and answer 4 or 5 of the very most common questions that have come up over the last 1 week. So first and foremost, Quantum X3 is a brand new platform. That means it is not linked to your Punk Panda organization. And as of this moment, and until September 15th, there is no link or anything to see with Punk Panda or your data or how many tokens you have or anything. On September 15th, when we launch the Quantum X3, you can set up an account for free. And in the back office, you will be able to see your tokens and your tokens only at that point. When the Punk Panda app comes back online, which will be a few months later, when it comes back online, you'll be able to see all of your Panda pals, your whole organization, everything that was there the day we turned it off will all be there. 20 minutes later, you'll receive your first batch of what will be QX3 tokens at that moment. So to answer the question, right now, Quantum X3 is a new platform. That means when you want somebody to register with you, you are going to have to take a link and send it to them. Can you see any data right now? No, you cannot. On September 15th, in the back office of the Quantum X3, you will be able to see all the tokens that you had on the app and all the ones that you had on the farm. And then we're going to talk a little bit here about the benefits of having a free Quantum X3 account versus having a $100 Quantum X3 account, what the difference is, and also how the swap is actually going to work. Okay. So, and other people have asked, what is Quantum X3? Well, first and foremost, to let you know, Punk Panda owns Quantum X3. And Quantum X3 is what allows us to generate revenue. You see, ladies and gentlemen, because of all the expensive operating expenses of the app and us having no revenue coming in with the Punk Panda app and us doing follow-up leads with many different investors over the last 2 years, it all come back to one common theme. People would be very excited. They couldn't wait to meet us and talk about the app and everything that we'd been through, the 2 years of building it, having an initial investor, then our investor, his money got tied up and he wasn't able to put in a second round, even though we had over 1 million downloads in our very first year. It all come back to one theme. You have a very exciting project here, but you don't generate any revenue. And it's because of that, it's hard to get any sort of high valuation. And so along the way, we tried to do partnerships with other companies. Those didn't work out, but we would see this and we said, that's actually a good idea. And we would see that and we say, that's actually a good idea. So it was a multitude of these contacts and partnerships that almost happened that we said, you know what? We could put all this together and we would be able to generate real revenue. And that's what we're doing right now. You see, before we ever even opened the door on September 15th, Quantum X3 is already making money. And another thing that has happened over the last 2 years to make this a much easier transition for us to get the app open back up, it used to be very expensive to operate the app. During the research and development months, sometimes the bill was over $200,000 just for a month. Even without research and development, when we were closing in and finishing and we weren't rebuilding the app, it was still very expensive because of the server costs and because of the messaging engine costs that was going on at that time. Bring in 100,000 new people that were actually doing video calls and sending text messages, that was costing $15,000 per 100,000. 200,000 was costing $30,000, and that's just for 1 year. So the good news is that all server costs have come way down. Messaging engine costs are way down. They're going to cost us somewhere between 25 to 30% of what it was costing. So with these two things of being able to generate revenue right now and being able to have the cost be way down, it's a mutual benefit for us to get this app open back up. So anyway, let's talk about the benefits of you registering a $100 Quantum X3 account. Well, if you're a Punk Panda member, obviously you have a huge advantage over somebody that isn't. But I'm telling you right now, we have many, many leaders around the world that were never part of Punk Panda, very excited. They cannot wait till September 15th to get registered and to start building on this. And then whatever happens with the app, that for them, that's just a little bit icing on the cake, but they're just solely focused on this because of the money that they can make. So if you're a Punk Panda member, should be taking their excitement and taking it times 3 because you have a lot of tokens to swap. In addition, you're starting off so much farther ahead, and you deserve that because of the time and effort that was put in the past. So you will be able to set up a Quantum X3 account for free. And you're going to be able to swap your tokens for free. Okay. Of course, somebody that does $100 is going to get a better swap rate. And they're going to get a lot of other benefits, such as they're going to get one power pool position. They're also going to receive $50 worth of Quantum X3 tokens. In addition to that, if you're one of the early on people, such as you're in the first 21 days or less, you're probably going to cycle one time in the first 30 days, which means you're going to get paid $100 or $40 in USDT. Sorry about that. Also, if you're in within the first 21 days, there's a good chance you're going to cycle a second time within 45 days. That's going to pay you $80 USDT. And once again, if you were in within the first 21 days, you'll probably cycle a third time within your first 60 days. That means you've earned $40, $80, $160. And what did you do? You did nothing but opened a $100 account. You've already made, in 60 days, you've already made 3 times your money. You've never referred anybody else. And now you'll be swapping your tokens. If you just do the $100 and that is it, nothing else, you'll receive 1 Quantum X3 token for every 3 PPM. However, if you do some referrals, and what's going on here is that one email account can set up multiple accounts. So you could actually, in theory, refer yourself if you wanted to. Well, if you have 10 referrals, which I'm going to show you on the next page, on the next slide, 1 Quantum X3 token for 1 PPM token. So remember, we created 275 million tokens at Quantum X3, the exact same number that we had at Punk Panda. We're not flooding this with any sort of extra tokens or anything. So we do have the availability to do a 1-for-1 swap here. Now, as I told you, there are many leaders from all over that are very excited about the Quantum X3. And the reason is they sat down and they watched the video on the presentation. So if you haven't seen that and you're seeing this video first, you're going to want to go back and watch the Quantum X3 video on all the ways that we generate revenue and the comp plan, all the ways that you can make money. But in that comp plan, you'll find out that if you deposit $100 and you do nothing else, no referrals, nothing, and you cycle through 3 times, well, you've made $280 and you have $50 with the QX3 tokens. If you cycle through 7 times, let's say it even took you 2 years or 3 years to do that, and you cycled through 7 times, you've earned $5,000. And at that time, you'd have to take $100 of that $5,038 and renew that position after it has cycled through 7 times. So let's go talk about you having your Punk Panda tokens and how the swap will actually work, whether you do a free account or $100. You see here, if you come in and you deposit $100 on that day one, as soon as you've done that, you'll receive 3-to-1 swap. What that means is that when you open up your Quantum X3 account, you'll see that on the app, let's say that you had 3,000 tokens sitting there. Well, as soon as you put in the $100, 1,000 of them will now be unlocked. The next day, you decide to refer a couple people. Well, now you'll see another 1,500 unlocked because you're going to receive 2-to-1. A couple days later, you decide to refer 3 more people. So you now have a total of 5. Well, now 2,000 of your tokens have been unlocked. And 3 months later, you're up to 10 referrals. All 3,000 tokens have now been unlocked. You can use all 3,000 tokens in the Quantum X3 ecosystem, where there are 4 different places that you can use those tokens at a 40-cent value. And you're getting a real value for the things that you're spending them on. You're getting a real value for them, a way for you to earn money or a way for you to save money, depending on which area of the ecosystem that you actually use them on. Okay. Now, let's say that you opened up a Quantum X3 account and you said, you know what? I just don't want to do the $100. I just want to get my token swapped. And when it comes time for the listing of the QX3, then I'm going to pull them out. I'm going to sell them. And that's all fine. You've earned that right. When the Punk Panda app does come back online, which would probably be somewhere between 2 months, 3 months, up to 6 months after we launch Quantum X3 on September 15th. Anytime within 60 days, the clock will start the day we open the app. Anytime within 60 days, you'll receive a 5-to-1 swap on your Punk Panda tokens. Anytime within 120 days, but more than 60, you'll receive a 6-to-1 swap, and that will continue on until the 365 days. Anybody after that will receive 12-to-1. So I hope that this has answered a lot of questions. I just kind of want to recap them. One is right now, nobody can see anything. On September 15th, when you open up a Quantum X3 account, whether it's for free or whether you deposited the $100, you'll be able to see your Punk Panda tokens. A few months after that, once we open up the Punk Panda app, you'll be able to see everything. You'll be able to see your Panda Pals. You'll be able to see your 12 levels, how many people are on each level. In 20 minutes after that app has launched, you'll start to receive your first batch of Quantum X3 tokens, just like you were before we shut this off. So I would like for everybody to have a wonderful day, and we look forward to you being able to share this with other people if you want to. We also look forward to you just simply going to Quantum X3, getting your account set up, and being able to see the tokens that you have sitting there, and looking forward to the day that the Punk Panda app does come back online. It'll be a very good day for us. It's been over 2 years in the making, and we are here, and we're going to make this happen. So thank you, and God bless. Have a wonderful afternoon or morning or evening, depending on wherever you are in the world.